What's up, everybody? Steven Story back at it again. I'm gonna let y'all hop on here. For those that are watching this live, for everybody that's watching this on a replay, just give me a minute or so. Let everybody hop in here. What's up, everybody? Hop in. I'm gonna be talking about becoming an expat. That is what you are called when you move away from your home country. But you don't do it permanently, right? In that case, you'll become an immigrant. All right. So we're gonna be talking about the steps you got to take to, as an American, if you want to live outside of the United States for an extended amount of time. Okay. So once this gets to about 20 people, we'll hop on here. Got my new Bahia shirt. Yeah. Hey, man. I really just picked the first team that I found. Bahia is super popular here in Salvador. It's either Bahia or Vitoria, and I like the red, white, and blue because I'm American more than the red and black. So all my friends are Bahia fans, so it's cool. But anyway, guys, we're at 20 people. Bahia minha porra. Anyway, so let's go and get into it, guys. So anybody that has questions about moving out of the United States, feel free to hop in and let me know now, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. But in the meantime, let's go and get into it. So first steps, the first thing you need to do to begin living outside the United States, you need to pick a country. Okay. Now, for me, I always advise people to move to countries, for the most part, where you're going to blend in at. Okay. So what does that mean? That means that you want to go to places, especially if you're not strong in a language, you want to go to places that it's many different races and different cultures. Okay. So let's like Canada, most of Europe, where else? Brazil obviously is one of them. Now, if you're stronger in that language, yeah, feel free to start going to other places, right, where you stick out. But to me, I think it's easiest to live in places where you do not stick out, and you won't get treated as differently as an American, as a person who's an English speaker. Okay, so that's the first thing. Next thing, after you pick the country, you got to decide where you want to live in that country. So it's not just about, hey, I want to move to Germany, or I want to move to France or Canada or Australia or Brazil or whatever. What do you want to get out of that experience, right? So you're leaving the United States to go where and to do what when you get there. That's the next set of questions you need to ask, and it takes time. Okay, you really want to take some time to consider these things because that's what's going to allow you to live the best. Have the most fun, live the best, live the best experience while you're in that part of the country. For example, Brazil has a north and a south, and the south it can be quite cold there. It's more of a European vibe in Brazil, in the south of Brazil. In the north of Brazil, it's more like the Caribbean for the most part. As you go further north, like Recife, not Manaus. Manaus is in the Amazon. Bahia and Salvador, all those places like that. So Belo Horizonte. Belo Horizonte. Recife is in Belo Horizonte. But again, so you pick the area, you pick which country you want to live in. Then the next thing you got to do, guys, before you make money, you need to lower your recurring expenses in the United States. Okay. So I did this the first time. I didn't do it correctly. When I moved to Brazil originally, and when I moved to Canada, I moved to Canada first, and I moved to Brazil. But the problem was that I still had a whole life's worth of recurring expenses each month. I still had American rent each month. I still had American phone bill, American rent, because I hadn't broken my lease yet. I still had storage, American insurance, car insurance, things like that. So I had probably $2,000, $3,000 worth of recurring bills each month living in Canada. So I had $3,000 was going in the hole because I wasn't experiencing any of that, right? And the same thing happened when I was in Brazil for the first two times. So the point is, I had to pay my car off, right? Then I had to, when I finished my apartment lease, I did not sign another lease in America for 2 years. Okay, there's ways around it. I'm gonna get into that. Okay. Then the next thing I had to do Then they had to start whittling down debt. Okay, so American debt, you got to take it down because if you're dealing with an American bank account, you're still dealing with the American credit system, and you want to have good credit. Hey, what's up? What's up, Christian? How you doing? So, all these things are going to help you be able to live abroad comfortably. All right. Now, we've taken care of the debt problem. We've taken care of the recurring revenue, recurring expenses problem. Now, the fun part, let's start talking about money. Okay, you need to have recurring money that you can make without you having to physically be in a place. What does it look like? It can be a product like drop shipping. It can be a service like consulting, pay-per-click advertising, teaching people English. Uh, it's a lot of things you can do on the internet that you can do as a service for other people. Virtual assistant. You can invest in real estate, options trading. You got stock market, forex, Bitcoin. It's many different things you can do online that can help you make money without being in a physical location every day. Then the next thing, guys, now you made the money, right? You really want to have a good handle on personal finance, okay? Because you're going to be in another country, and you're going to be earning in earning in the American dollar, and you're going to be living in preferably you're going to be living in a weaker currency. If you go to Europe or the UK, excuse me, you're going to be dealing in a stronger currency, so you won't be making as much money. So again, guys, so let's go into this currency. This is where it gets cool at. You want to go now. So these countries, you really want to take into account currency in your plans to move, right? Is it beautiful? Does it have the food I like? Do I like the culture? Is the currency weak? Okay, if the currency is weak, that means you can get more bang for your buck, right? It means a better house. It means you're getting fresh foods all the time. You might have a nanny for your children, or a maid, or somebody, a driver, things like that. Those come into play when we start talking about currency, right? Next thing after that, guys, you want to have a good understanding of safety, okay? And safety does not just include being on the street. It also means your health insurance. Okay, does that country have health insurance in case you get sick? I have health insurance, traveler's insurance for Brazil, and I also have life insurance, things like that, just to take care of me while I'm away from my own country. Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? Am I explaining this well for you all? Please, anybody that got questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer this for y'all guys. I've lived in 2 countries. I've gotten work visas to live in other countries. I've ran the gamut on that living outside the United States thing. So, and then also, guys, next thing, once you get down with the currency and stuff like that, you need to get a bank account in the country you're going to be living in. Each country has different requirements for bank accounts, but you need to get those requirements and meet them. And you need to start putting money in a bank account there. It's always good to have some bank accounts outside the United States, especially when you're living outside of it. I got one when I was in Canada. I did that pretty quickly, like in the first 5 weeks. I'll be getting another one in Brazil. And then from there, guys, once you get your bank account set up, you want to go ahead and get a driver's license set up. Okay, you want to get a driver's license in the country that you're living in, so you won't have to Uber everywhere. You'll be able to rent cars, and you have another form of identification that people in that country understand. All right, all right. So, guys, anything else I can help y'all with? Please feel free to ask any questions that you have. I'm at work right now, so I'm just gonna let y'all kind of shoot away at that, guys. If there's anything I didn't explain clearly, guys, y'all let me know. If there's anything that y'all like for me to, if there's anything that y'all like me to expound upon, I can. Can you speak on language barriers, ways to adjust? Yeah, learn the language. Simple as that, man. I mean, I don't know a way to make that any easier for you all. You gotta learn a language. I use Google Translate, the Translate app on Google for a time, but I mean, what's the point? What's the point of going to another country you can't talk to anybody? So, yeah, you're gonna do your homework. I studied for a couple months prior to me moving to Brazil, and then I moved to Brazil, and then I just tried every day. I just tried to talk. I listened and I tried to talk, and now I'm conversationally fluent. I can talk to people without my phone, and so that's what's the most important thing, right? Yeah, it's not easy but barriers are meant to be broken. So after 3 months in the country, if you're not speaking the language, either you only speak in English to other English speakers in that country, or you're lazy. One of the two. So uh, that's my opinion. But me learning another language is greatly enriched my life. Did you have a tourist visa? Yes. I will not move into the local tax system. I prefer America's tax system for now. Lawrence King talks about tax systems in Uruguay. Uruguay has an amazing tax system. If you're earning money outside of Uruguay, you pay zero taxes. So that's Uruguay in South America, but I think you got to become a citizen there. I don't know. Lawrence knows more about it. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys. What you got to remember, if you're making money remotely, right? If you're making money online or making money in a way where you don't have to physically be there, why switch your accounts up for tax purposes if the taxes are crazy, or if you have a better tax situation in the States, So it's something to think about. Just because you physically go somewhere does not mean your bank accounts go a different place, right? You're just spending money there, So uh, that's what I think about that. Brittany, you got any questions? Assad, you got questions on here? Y'all holler at me. I really went over a lot. So I know some of y'all just got on, just joining. I went over the basically 5 steps that you need to take, and I'll do a recap for those who are just joining. Everybody who just joined, I'm gonna do a quick recap of the things that it takes to become an expat or to live outside the United States as an American comfortably. First, you need to know, what's up, Andrew? First, you need to know where you want to move. What country do you want to move to and why? What do you want to experience? And then the next thing you want to do is you want to minimize recurring American expenses. That's going to take some time. This is not a 3-month thing unless you've got a lot of money laying around. That means paying off your car. That means handling your car insurance, paying off that cell phone that you finance. That means getting out of the lease that you're currently in. All right. If you have a home, that means putting somebody in that home and renting it out so you don't pay more on that. All the money that you're spending when you're not in America can be used to enrich your life experience when you're living in another country. Okay. It took me about 8 months to do all those things. You can do it quicker. Right. But that was one of my problems. I had about $3,000 in recurring expenses in the United States while I was living in Canada and while I was living in Brazil. So I wanted to stop that. And so it just took some time, learning about some personal finance, and I got it done. Next thing, guys, once you do that, then you need to increase your income online. You need to find a way to make money without physically being present. So right now, there's a lot of opportunities for remote work in many industries that normally don't have remote work opportunities. You need to take advantage of it. You need to get the hell out of the States and go to the place that you want to go if that place is open to Americans at this time. All right. And then after that, guys, once you've gotten that taken care of, another thing that you want to put into action or take into consideration is currency exchange rates. Okay, you want to know how the dollar performs against that country's currency. For example, Brazil is $1 American is about 5.3 to 5.6 Brazilian reais. Okay, that means that my dollar goes 5 times further. Some countries like in Thailand or Vietnam or Colombia or so on and so forth, the dollar goes multiple times exponentially further in that country than ours does in our own country. Okay, so you take those things into account, guys, and that's going to give you a good foundation on how to leave the United States and live comfortably as an American. Don't forget safety. You need to understand laws in that country. Are there religious laws like in a Muslim country, things like that? Can you follow those laws? All right. And then you need to understand if you're a drug user or anything like that. You need to understand drug use laws in those countries. Every country is different. All right. And then you need to understand health insurance. Can you get health insurance? Is it possible? More than likely, yes. Then from there, you need to have a good understanding of, just the local economy, local culture and stuff. It takes only a bit of time to learn these things, guys. Okay. Anybody got questions? Questions. Anybody? Feel free to let me know something, and I'll answer any questions you have about these things, guys. And now I'm just keep on working because y'all just help me pass the time right now because I still got like another hour and a half left of work. So What country am I in? I'm in Brazil at the moment. Yeah. So it's a cool place. I've been here 3 times now. I lived here for several months at a time. Any other questions? Any questions, guys? 32. 32 years old. I lived in I speak Portuguese. I lived in a small town in Alabama until I was 26 years old. And then I was like, hey, I got to have more for my life. I just started moving around the United States, working in different cities, working in different major cities throughout the South and the East Coast, and worked in Canada, and then started working in Brazil. So, you don't have to be young, like super young to experience these things, guys. You can make a change whenever you feel like. If you want to start changing up things at 20, 21, cool. If you want to do it at 30, 31, cool too. 40, 41, that's even better. We don't have to stay somewhere just because that's where we've been at. We don't have to stay there, right? Uh, any other questions, guys? Andrew, you got anything else? Proud Vet, you got anything else? You got questions? I covered a lot of topics. I hope I explained everything as well as I could to y'all. I hope it helps. I hope it inspires one of y'all to hop out here and come out here and do the work necessary to live out here. Let's see if I can show y'all this, man. I went to lunch early today. I went to lunch on the beach. Where is it at? There we are. This is the view outside of the restaurant. Y'all see that? Yeah, I was eating lunch out here a few hours ago. A really cool little area. What do you do if you get to a country and can't make it? What do you mean? You mean you can't make it financially? Is that what you mean? You can't make it like you don't like the people? Like, what you mean? Yeah, okay, yeah, if you can't make it financially, I hope you bought a round trip ticket. Make it till the round trip ticket comes and then get back home, right? Or just call your friend up, tell them, bail you out. Hey, buy my plane ticket, get me out of here. But the thing is, again, guys, if you're watching this video, you really need to have an understanding of your own personal finances before you do these things, okay? Because if you couldn't make it in another country with a weaker currency, you already couldn't make it in the United States. You already had a problem, okay? So let's not kid ourselves here, okay? If you can't make it, do you have contact with the embassy? Yeah, I mean, it's on the internet, man. It's just a U.S. embassy. Like, it's not like they're my parents. I got to talk to them all the time. I'm 32, right? So, like, I've been out of my parents' house since I was 18. Like, I don't really care what my parents got to say about that. I mean, what are they going to do, beat me? Whoop me? Who cares if they disagree? They're your parents, they're not you. Your parents made their own decisions. Now you got to make your own. So that's a you problem. That's not your parents' problem. I don't ask my mom and dad if I can come to Brazil. I just go to Brazil or go to Canada or whatever. And like I said, Andrew, that's up to you, bro. That's Jay Clyde, my brother from another mother, my compatriot in this expat living. Jay Clyde, man, this guy, he really paid the way for me to get out here. I talk to him all the time. Bro, I need to call you when I finish this up, man. My system up and running perfect, man. It's like the plan worked just fine, man. But any other questions? Andrew, I'm not trying to be hard on you, by the way. I just want y'all to understand, like, you should not care about what your parents have to say. If you want to do something, you do it. Your parents live their lives. You got to live yours. Okay? Simple as that. And then on top of that, moving to another country, man, it grows you. It stretches your mind away. It stretches you. You learn so many things about yourself. It's not just about learning about that country. You get to learn about you. There's so many things you don't even know you like. It's certain food you don't even know you like. It's certain music you don't even know you like. There's women that you don't know that you like. And if you're a woman, there's men that you don't know you like. And you won't know until you experience it for yourself. And nobody can tell you that. You got to see it. So you're gonna let your mom and daddy stop you from experiencing all that just so you can be in agreement with them? Is agreement that important? No, it's not. Right? So that's what I think about that. Oh yeah, awesome, man. I'm glad you agree. Um, Anybody else got any questions? Any questions, guys? As y'all see, I'm a bit tired. But I'm glad to be able to talk to y'all for a bit. Anybody else got any other questions about living outside the United States? I'm happy to answer. Everybody just joining, you might want to catch the replay of this. I went over the reasons and things to do a few times, so I don't feel like going over it a third time. I like my jersey. My girl just got this clean little jersey, man. We got this like that. How have your first few days been back then? Oh man, I mean you also gotta remember, dude, it's quarantine, right? It's still a pandemic out here, so it's very similar. Every country is very similar right now. Most people are at home. There's no parties or anything like that. So it's just been me working. I've been working, going to eat, going to the gym, walk. I mean, it's fairly similar. I already knew people here, so just meet my friends that I haven't seen in a while. It's been pretty normal. I'm past the shock of being in another country because I've been here so many times. Well, I've lived here for a while now, so it's like going to another city, man. It's not that big of a deal at this point. But it just takes time, though. That doesn't happen overnight. It took a lot of time. I'm back in my old neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? If I was on the other side of the city, it might be different. Like I know where everything is, so it's not so hard. I have my bearings here. So yeah, that's that. Well, what else? What else y'all got? What else y'all got? I'm here to answer questions. If y'all notice how I answer questions, depending on how y'all ask them, I'm challenging your perspective. It's a good question. I'm gonna challenge your perspective. How do you choose Brazil? Great question. I really, really wanted to go to Brazil like 10 years ago, no, like 12 years ago, back when I was 20. And I saw like capoeira, the women. I saw what the culture was. I like the music, all the dancing, the beaches and stuff. And I was like, shit, I want to experience that. And I could blend in. So, but Portuguese was kind of the holdup for me for a long time. And then I was like, screw it, just go learn Portuguese. And then once I did that, that was it. I came down here alone. I've always traveled solo in Brazil. Never had a problem. So that's been my experience with that. And I hope you do the same thing. I hope you don't wait 10 years to go to a new country. Everybody's just joining. Ask away. Questions about how to live outside the United States as an American comfortably. I'm happy to answer those questions for you all, okay? And so, yeah, that's what we got, guys. Anybody else? Ask away. I'm happy to talk to y'all tonight for a little bit longer. Am I teaching English? No, I'm not teaching English. But I do know a lot of people who do speak English that teach English here in El Salvador. I know several Americans that do teach English here. It's crazy. They live in Brazil, but they don't teach English to Brazilians. They teach English to Chinese. So that's really interesting, I don't need to teach English. Don't make enough money. I'm in the insurance business. Anybody else? Anybody else? What we got? Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? I'm more than happy to answer the questions you all have. Don't be scared. It ain't going to bite you. All right, Scotty Zuhadi, what's up? Yeah, don't be scared. I'll go ahead and holler. Ask away. It doesn't matter if I answer the question already. I really like to answer as many questions as I can. Where do I live now, or where do I live normally? I split my time between the United States and Brazil. Darius, what's up? Yeah, so last year I spent 6 months in the United States, and I spent 6 months in Brazil. I'll do the same the rest of this year and then next year. I might stay longer. We'll see. But yeah. Any other questions, guys? Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? I'm here to help you out. Anybody thinking about leaving the country for a bit, doing an extended session of tourism? I think a lot of the information I have is good for somebody who wants to do over a 2-week trip. If you want to do over a 2-week trip, you need to get a good understanding of where you're going. In my opinion, you want to do 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months. You kind of want to know some of the things I'm talking about. So let's keep it going. Let's keep the questions coming, guys. Where do you get the most lucrative gains outside the U.S.? Yeah, so what you're asking is currency based. So it all depends, man. Because what's the point if $1 is 1 million in another currency if there's no fun, there's no beaches, the women aren't pretty, you know what I'm saying? Like the food ain't good, right? So you got to kind of meet in the middle. You got to see, what do I want? What am I interested in? What would I like to experience? And then who has that? What countries have that, right? So if it's mountains or you want to experience the cold or something like that, you want to put all those things on a checklist, and then you want to look at currencies based around that, right? But you don't like. I wouldn't go live in most of the third world countries just for bang for the buck. You know what I'm saying? Or lucrative gains, because you're still going to be in that third world country, right? So that's something to think about. And that's, again, guys, I'm not going to go over this again because I really just explained this twice already. But just have a look at the replay at the beginning, because I really broke it down in the very beginning of the video. And I did it again about 7 minutes into the video. So just have a look at that. Now you got to remember, Puerto Rico is the United States. So you go into the United States. It's just an American island. You're still using the American dollar. You just in the Spanish-speaking part of America. So that's fairly simple, man. Because you're in America, you don't have to get a passport. You don't have to learn the local government. I mean, like, Puerto Ricans here. I mean, it's America. At least step outside and go to DR. At least, shit. At least go to DR, man. Puerto Rico. I mean, yeah. But if you want to go to Puerto Rico, I mean, I just don't see the benefit. It's just gonna be more expensive. It's just a more expensive place. You can go to Jamaica for that. Jamaica's cheaper and they speak English. So but whatever. You might have your own reasons for that. I'm a 29-year-old a black man teaching English in Spain. What advice can you give me as I'm just starting out? Hey man, get your money up. Get your money up. Spain, I'm sure you're earning in euros. And I think the cost of living is fairly high. I don't know how they're taxing you on how they pay you or things like that. But hey, you're doing a good job. You're young. You're young. You're in another country. Enjoy yourself. Just immerse yourself in the culture while you're there. I don't know how long your contract is for in Spain, but just enjoy it. Enjoy it, and then pick another country. Shit, pick another country, or hey, find some work you can do online and supplement the income you're already making, so you can make more money. That's what I would do. Yeah, you got a year-long contract, man. Go enjoy yourself. It's Spain. I'm sure they can let you go around the rest of Europe too with your passport. So hey, go around, go experience the rest of Europe, bro. Because you're in Spain. They have like Catalina Spanish, Catalinian Spanish. So it's a bit different, but yeah, man. You already living what you living like I'm living. So hardest thing you had to overcome, figure out once you actually got to Brazil, other than language. Damn, bro, that's a good question, man. Hardest thing to overcome, man. Damn, I wish you didn't ask me. That's a hard one, dog. I would say for me, it was like, um, damn, it was America. Like I still have a lot of recurring bills in America. That's what it was like hamstringing me, man. Like I couldn't break free, like do what I really want to do because I still had a lot of bills back at home. Because it really wasn't that hard being out and about. I had fun. I was having fun, but it was just the anchor that I had in the United States, which was my leases and my car and all that stuff. That was just tearing me up every month because if I was gonna throw away $3,000 in Brazil, I could have been living like a king. You know what I'm saying? With an extra $3K in expenditures per month. Yeah, so I think that's what it was for me. Brazil it didn't give me a lot of problems once I broke through. Just I used to everything. Uh, shit. Hey, you know what? Hey, boy, you asked a question right there. You asked a question right there, man. So I've already been to Brazil twice, and for me, it was The hard part was not getting another lease. Okay, so I was already doing well for myself, but I had to switch to only staying in Airbnbs or with family, so I would not get in the lease again. That was very difficult. So I think I did like 3 months with my parents, 3 months at a friend's house, 6 months at my sister's and brother-in-law's house. It was a bit uncomfortable for a time. For about 12 months, it was uncomfortable. But with paying no rent or very little rent, like $500, I was able to not pay off my car in like freaking 6 months. You know what I'm saying? I was able to pay all my debts off and stuff. So like, what sacrifices are you willing to make, right? Those are the sacrifices I did. I really focused on increasing income, and I really focused. My first night in Brazil, I'm gonna tell you that too. And I really focused on just getting my act together financially, and that shot me through the roof so I could be back in Brazil and live comfortably. Now, my first night in Brazil, I actually got stomach. I had like a little stomach bug. I ate a bunch of seafood in Miami on the flight before I left on a flight with a friend. I get to Brazil, dude. I'm like sweating like shit. I got a fever, stomach going crazy, and I had a date with this chick. We were going to the mall and like we got like some fish or something like that. I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm already sweating. It ain't hot, but I'm sweating. You know what I'm saying? The girl, like, a pretty girl, whatever. And I go to eat a little bit of the fish, and I'm like, I think I'm about to throw up. I tell him I throw. I was like, hey, look, let me go to the bathroom right quick. I get to the bathroom, and I go. It's coming out of both ends for like 30 minutes. Okay, and the girls, I'm still on a date. I'm still on a date here, guys. I'm throwing up and I'm shitting all the time. Um, and the girl doesn't leave, so I come back and I got like throw up breath. You know what I'm saying? And the girl's like, it's okay. We can go out another time because I got game. Okay, all you boys that ain't got no game, I bet you can't keep a girl from leaving you on a date for 30 minutes and you come back in a full sweat, smelling like vomit. You know what I'm saying? Because I did it. Uh, but yeah, long story short, Newt, what's up? Long story short, yeah, that was what happened my first night in Brazil. Yeah, it was crazy, crazy time, guys. Any other questions, guys? Uh, I'm more than happy to answer the questions that you all have about living and working outside the United States. What questions do you have? How do you do it? What do you need to do first? What checklist do you need to have in your head? A mental checklist, right? What do you need to have, guys? Let me tell you something. The biggest thing stopping you from going to another country or living in another country is literally booking an Airbnb and buying a ticket. Okay, those are the two most important actions. Everything else is just your emotions and your doubt and fear. Okay, that's it, guys. They're selling the flight tickets every single day, and none of these flights are over. I mean, no flight is over $3,000 unless you go in first class right now. So, hold on, Andrew, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna get on that one. But yeah, so none of these flights are super expensive. So just get the flight and go down there and quit being scary. Get the money that you need, save your money, and go. Okay. Now, as far as meeting women, uh, Jeremy put me on. Jay Clyde, who was just in the chat a second ago, he put me on to Tinder Passport. That's the free game. Y'all should pay me for what I just told y'all. Tinder Passport. Tinder Passport is $100 for 1 year, and it allows you to swipe right in any city in the world. Okay, so before I came to Brazil, I was swiping right for like a month, and the girl I met the first day I was there, I had been talking to her for a month prior. Okay, so that's how I did it. And then as I built my community and stuff, I started meeting women in real life. Just like you meet a woman in America, right? Through friends and I'm over here, we're at a party, just regular simple stuff right like that. But don't be scared to meet women off an app. Don't be scared to meet women in real life. Well, with that being said, you need to have an understanding of the language, or you need to understand what you're going to do to talk to somebody. Like a translate app, like Google Translate is really good, really really good. Any other questions, guys? Anybody else? I'm happy to talk to y'all more about this. All right, because this is something that I want to do for a really long time. and I'm able to do it now. Any payment. Manage review and payment. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working. Y'all keeping me company while I'm working. All right. Because see, guys, when I'm here, this is the only time I get to speak in English. When I talk to y'all, this helps me keep my. Look, long story short, guys, when you're speaking another language, you're gonna lose some of the words, like your English vocabulary. First thing that goes is gonna be slang. Slang, you just forget it, and then before you know, you're speaking broken English all the time because you're talking to other people who speak a little bit of English. So talking to y'all helps keep my English fresh as my Portuguese begins to take over. Guys, if you're just joining, I'm happy to answer your questions. But if you want the full breakdown of what I talked about, catch the replay when I finish, where I talk about all the things you need to do to move out of the country. Okay, move and live and thrive. Okay, guys. Anybody else have any questions? I'm gonna stay with y'all to 6:45 my time. Okay, I'm gonna stay with y'all for a little bit more. I think I'm gonna start doing it daily now. I mean, this is my third day in a row, so I might start hopping on a bit more often. I just talk to y'all, like I said, just because I ain't got nobody else to talk to in English as much. So I like to hop on here and I like answering y'all's questions. So I can talk about other things y'all want me to. So it's just a matter of time. Hank, what's up, man? Over here living the dream, bro. But yeah, guys. Yeah, so we got a few more minutes. Anybody got any questions? I'm happy to talk to you all and answer any questions that you might have about anything. Marcus, Marcus. Hey, man, if you have not seen Boomerang featuring Eddie Murphy as a star, you need to go watch Boomerang, okay? Boomerang is amazing. It is the template of my life, Boomerang and How to Be a Player. Two awesome movies. As the guys on the internet say, these are red pill level movies, okay? These movies really set you up. Things like watching when I was a kid, and it kind of just gave me the blueprint of what you need to be as a young man. But anyway, guys, anybody else, y'all feel free to hop in. Don't be shy. Because I really want to answer anything I got. Red pill before the red pill, right? Shoot, man, you go watch Boomerang, Andrew. You need to watch Boomerang, bro. Go watch Boomerang. Go watch How to Be a Player. And then I'm going to tell you another one now. I'm going to tell you another one to watch. She Hate Me. Go watch She Hate Me. That's another one right there, boy. Hey, you wanna learn how to be a player for real? Watch them 3 movies right there. You'll be good to go. Well, look, guys. Anybody else? Hey, I'm American, so I do enjoy my own country. And I do enjoy Brazil, but I enjoy it for different reasons. So I don't think you have to pick in that way, right? Because we don't live in a binary world. It's a lot of gray area there, right? I can always catch a flight and come back to America and go have fun. But really, I think that you need to self-actualize. You really need to self-actualize. And until you get self-actualized, you will have problems anywhere you go, right? Because here's the thing. Wherever you go, there you are. All your problems were caused by you, all right? And if they weren't caused by you, it's up to you to fix them. So whatever problems you have are going to follow you all over the world until you die, okay? So no, that's my philosophy on all this. But anybody have any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? I am more than happy to answer any other questions you all have. And if not, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Okay? So, if nobody has anything else, I'm going to go ahead and end this Periscope for today. I hope y'all got some good knowledge out of this. And if you are hopping on for the first time with me, guys, I appreciate you. Watch this video from the beginning, and you're going to get everything that I shared, okay? You get it in like the first 5-7 minutes, okay? Anyway, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your night. I will talk to y'all later, all right?